Hey guys, welcome to Snowbreak Containment Zone, and we do have here a character preview for Enya Tempest. She is dropping, by the way, tomorrow in the new update, and this character preview was translated courtesy of Vikyash through snowbreak.gg. Okay, let me just say this, that she it's going to be probably, she has the best default skin in the game as of now. Default skins are actually getting better and better as the game, ages. And wow, this is what a default skin should look like. Okay, again, she's probably top one or top two in terms of her default skin. Okay, so weapon is going to be shotgun. I thought it was going to be a sniper. Element is kinetic. We do have a lot of kinetic wielders already in the game. So, I don't know. Let's leave it at that. Role is going to be skill DPS. So, take note, we're going to be focusing more on her skills rather than her ballistic damage. So, as we go down, let's take a look at the translated version of her standard skill. This is just a preview. It's not all translated. So, standard skill wins onslaught. We have three phases, by the way. We have Valley Wind State, Coastal Wind State, and Leafy Wind State. So, the first one, top Enya enters the Valley Vortex State. Okay, it says here Valley Wind, Valley Vortex, I don't know. Continuously dealing kinetic damage and knocking back nearby enemies. Each time damage is dealt, gain wind points. Okay, so this is the one. Hold. Enya enters the coastal vortex state, continuously consuming wind points to continuously deal increased kinetic damage and knocking back enemies in an increased range. Each time damage is dealt, generate U energy. Passive. When dodging, and Enya enters the leafy vortex state along the direction of travel, knocking up enemies and dealing kinetic damage to them. Each time damage is dealt, generate wind points and S energy. So, the mechanic for the skill is definitely the first one, generate wind points. And also the third one, which is the passive. So, tap in the passive generates you wind points, which you will consume by holding here. So continuously consume wind points to continuously deal increased kinetic damage. So we'll go to the sample in terms of how to use her skill once we do have her. So Neuronic is going to be enemy Enya's CC resistance is increased while in any of the three vortex states. And number 2 is reduce the wind point consumption of coastal vortex state. Okay, so next up we do have the support skill. Enya places a wind terrace under the operative and deals damage to nearby enemies. I thought she was launching enemies up. When operatives are on top of wind terrace, it will rise up to lift them off the ground. Oh, I'm right. Enemies that will touch the wind terrace are knocked back but do not take damage again. Okay, probably this boss was just too heavy. That is why they were not lifted. But it's gonna have a lifting action and probably disable some enemies for the meantime. And the ultimate skill, Hurricane Axis. She's wind powered and she's kinetic. It's actually weird. Anyway, Enya consumes all U energy, dealing kinetic damage to enemies within range. There is a minimum amount of U energy that must be consumed to use this ability. Damage dealt is increased based on the amount of U energy consumed. This ability cooldown is reduced whenever an enemy is defeated. So, Neuronic 1. When equipped with a kinetic weapon, this ability is damage is increased. Reduce this ability's cooldown. Okay, so there was passive, Winds of Youth. When equipped with a kinetic weapon, increase the final damage of any skill if the number of enemies hit is below a certain amount, further increasing based on how few enemies are hit. Enya gains bonus attack, further increased based on her alignment index. So for her weapon, it's called Amethyst Thorns. Okay, so what it does is increase kinetic damage. And number two is when equipping operative is continuously releasing a skill. Each time damage dealt by a skill grants Windborne Vow. Each stack of Windborne Vow increase the equipping operative's kinetic damage up to a certain stacks. At max stats, increase equipping operative skill damage. Okay, so for her logistics, 2 is increase attack. 3 officers, while Enya Tempest is using any vortex, she gains 1 stack of Luminous Breeze. Every single certain period increases skill damage up to certain stacks for every 1 stack of Luminous Breeze. Further increase damage dealt by standard skill. Okay, so these are the girls for the logistics. She's not that bad. Shoten. All of them are actually good, but this girl takes the cake. Anyway, so what do I think of her skills? Number one, we do have a skill damage, skill DPS shotgun user, which is series Kisana. So if you would compare both of them as a skill damage DPS with shotgun, my assumption is she should be on par with Kisana. Not necessarily increase or, go over Kisana series, but on par with her in terms of damage output. But we will have to see on how this is going to be put together, because you're gonna be generating U energy here, and again, the biggest damage will come from your ultimate skill. So we'll see how the skill cycles and more or less how we're going to be using her. I'm actually curious. I at a glance, if you look at her in terms of looks alone, definitely anybody should get her, definitely. But we'll have to check out what she does first for you to decide whether she's worth pulling or not. Okay, guys, that is it. Comment in the comment section what do you think of the preview, and I just do hope that her skill mechanic is unique and worth getting. That's it. Thank you guys for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.